What's up guys, it's Punchy, and I have some very disappointing news about one of my favorite Deepwoken races that I thought was going to be OP. My original title for this video, before I tested anything, was Etrean is OP, because I really thought that. Upon further inspection, my hopes were let down because Etrean really didn't get the buffs it needed. It actually got some nerfs. Earlier this month, Etreans received an update to their racial passive, allowing status effects against them to be cut in half. Previously, the talent Molt cut their status effects in half that they were dealing to others and made them terrible. Basically, as an Etrean, if you gave somebody a status effect, it would be reduced in duration. Luckily, it was bugged and supposedly fixed. Molt, the Etrean passive talent, says ailments and blessings alike fade away more quickly. Again, what does this really mean? Like, what really are ailments and blessings? I think it means any buff or status effects applied to Etreans are cut in half, and I tested that. In theory, Etrean could be the best race in the entire game if it cut enchant durations or even talents like all the dead gods in half. I mean, that's meta breaking. So, I foolishly thought Etrean was overpowered until I really tested its limits. I tested out several different things that I believe to be status effects, and here are my results. My accuracy isn't perfect, but I think it's close enough. We'll start off this list with the successful tests, where status effects have their duration reduced. Frostdraw and its effect duration were slightly reduced for my Etrean. My Etrean slot was frozen for 2.0 seconds, and my Grimoire was chilled for 3.2 seconds. It's not crazy, but at least it's reduced. Potions also have reduced duration. Etrean is under the status effect for 13.0 seconds, while my other slot has a duration of 17 seconds. It's not bad, but nobody really uses potions like this. Now for Suffocate, Etrean has its duration cut all the way in half, and this is pretty crazy. Instead of having the base 4 seconds of Suffocate, Etrean has 2 seconds, and that's really strong. Etreans have the best resistance against GALEBREATH suffocation, and that makes sense. Believe it or not, these 3 status effects are the only statuses Etreans can resist. This is not a joke, this is all they're good against. I was shocked and honestly surprised, and why is this so bad? The other elemental status effects like Fire's Burn or the Lightning Stun effect each last for 2 seconds on Etrean and any other race. So why is this working differently with Frostdraw and GALEBREATH, but not the other elements? Even other things like Taunt, Reinforce, and Charm legit are not touched. Taunt's duration lasts about 10 seconds for each character, and there is no deviation between the races. Maybe it's not a status, but this is the same for any of the other mantras. Reinforce duration stays the same for both races at 36 seconds, and Charm lasts about 15.2 seconds each. It surprisingly doesn't work, so what is this blessing that they're talking about? I figured why not? Let's try out dazing talents like Showstopper or Bear Trap, but I don't even know if that's a status effect. Showstopper and its dazing ability lasted around 2 seconds each, making it not a valid status. Even Bear Trap prevented Etrean and Grimoire from jumping at the same time for 4.0 seconds, and it was not looking good for Etrean. Many enchants did not work out either. I tried out Grim, Nemesis, Elastic, Chilling, and Storm, basically anything else that tried to, put on a status. I tested a few more, but I did not put them in this video, and they all did not work. Grim, basically the enchant known for applying status, was not counted as one. Each character had the same duration of 4.0 seconds, and I was surprised. Chilling, Elastic, and Storm did not have much difference either, or maybe their durations were just too short. The enchants I really wanted Etrean to counter was Nemesis. This weapon enchant marks the enemy for about 9 seconds, and if they're marked, you can TP to them. I think it would totally break the meta if a race just countered this enchant. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and nothing really happened. Speaking of meta, all the dead gods should have been shut down, but it was not. On M1, your enemy is put under an anti-heal status, but it's not considered a status to Etrean. Again, this lasted for 8 seconds on any race. So far, Etrean's passive Molt only had 3 status effects that it actually countered, which is insane. But there was one more that was legitimately worse with the Etrean race. Lightning tether duration is doubled if you have the stupid snake race. I'm not sure if this is a bug, but Etrean has a tether for 30 seconds while the rest only have 15. At the end of my test, it seems like out of 19 possible status effects, 3 worked and 1 physically hurt us. Sorry boys, but it seems like Etrean really isn't OP, it's just weird and broken. Luckily, this epic and awesome race talent reduces the amount of damage taken from Acid Rain, and that's about it though. Anyway, let me know if you thought this race was broken and I convinced you otherwise. I wish they would rework or fix status effects in Deepwoken, but it seems pretty hard to do. I tested and it didn't work out, and I'm a little bit disappointed. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one.